All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. It's time for current events and Q&A for you guys and gals. Well, I guess it skipped the intro. Let me start that again. It rebooted. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. It's time for current events, Q&A, all that stuff. I'm going to put up a community tab post, and I'm going to get over into the topic here. And this one hit kind of close to home. And I guess some people are not aware of the history. I'll break this down as soon as I get this up. And again, kind of an important one. For those who are unaware, there's obviously history with Ian. I had to block him a while back on social media. There's been a lot back and forth between he and I over the years. And for those who are unaware, why does this matter? Well, without Ian McCarthy, there would be no Jason Blaha YouTube channel. That's why this is kind of a big deal. Ian's the one who convinced me it would be a good idea to start my channel. He was the person who we had a conversation, and so no bullshit bodybuilding, also jokingly called Pop-Tart Fitness Lars. Ian and I were in certain circles together, mutual friends with Alan Aragon, our whole little nutrition circle online. Ian's the one who said, hey, man, I'm actually making a few $100s a month off my YouTube. You should really consider starting one, Jason. And I had someone else that told me before, you'd be pretty good at that if you're like one of my closest friends, had told me that before. And Ian talked to me. He's like, no, dude, you should do it, man. It makes a little bit of money. Mine's doing pretty good. You might be good at it. You should give it a try. Next week, I started my channel. That's kind of relevant. It wasn't. It was sent to me privately by a friend online, and I looked it all up. There's police reports. There's news stories. No, it's a real deal, guys. No, it's a real deal. In the Georgian Gazette, there's a little article on it. There's a full police report available. I've read it. Right, I've read it. And for those who are unaware, again, Ian's had a lot of trouble with alcoholism, with addiction. He is an alcoholic. He's had a lot of mental health problems and other stuff. I had donated money even at one time when I was doing well, and he was going through some struggles, and I donated some money. And then we had done a thing where I was going to coach him for free, and we did a whole video call, an hour long, discussing it. We announced we were going to do it. Bunch of mutuals. Alex was like, dude, this is awesome. I chimed in for this. I was going to help Ian get up in training again. I was going to coach him for free, and we were just going to do it as collab work. And then he backed out. So Ian has had a lot of demons, man. He's had a lot of problems. So apparently he's had some charges for petty theft and stuff. So the story that I'm reading, as reported, an elderly couple outside of a grocery store, I guess it was in Atlanta, where he lives. It looks like he approached the guy. No, EJ, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, dude. I've read it over. According to the police report that's available, he apparently had the woman. He pushed her down, an elderly woman. He came and started a conversation with them while they were loading groceries. He pushed her down, stole her purse. Then there was a scuffle with the husband, and I guess he took purse and wallet. And he was arrested within an hour because he was trying to use a stolen credit card a couple of miles away, and he got busted on that too. So he's been charged with aggravated assault. He's been charged with robbery. So he's got a couple of felonies pending out of this one. One of them, it said, if convicted, is up to 20 years in prison. Is up to 20 years worst case. Now, these are alleged. We don't know for a fact he did this. This is alleged. This is just what's being reported by the victims. But yeah, apparently police not only identified him from the stuff and found it pretty quick, he was caught trying to use one of the stolen credit cards from the woman's purse. So yeah, it's pretty messed up, guys. Pretty sad state of affairs. And I blocked Ian a little while back. I had to block him on social media. He went crazy on one of his Trump derangement syndrome type things went kind of crazy on me for not disavowing Trump. Like he wanted me to, it's like something happened weird with it. And he went off all crazy on me about it. And I ended up just blocking him. Like, I'm just telling you, I'm blocking you. And I think I unblocked him again at one time, but I didn't have him on my friends list later. But I just had to kind of just push it out of there. Like he's had issues. Hit that like button, guys. We got 3 people commenting. We got 3 likes. So that's the situation as it stands with Ian. But I mean, the charges as they are. Hold on, let me pull it back up. From what I'm seeing, also what was sent over to me, I mean, all the booking details are public at this point. His initial appearance is supposed to be on the 1st. So as the current charges stand, robbery by sudden snatching, felony up to 20 years if convicted. Aggravated assault, elderly victim enhancement, felony due to victim's age over 65 and resulting injuries. So this is a felony also. Theft by receiving stolen property, misdemeanor. So he's got 2 felony charges. One of them is up to 20 years, the worst one, the robbery. But aggravated assault, that's pretty bad too. And I don't know, it doesn't say what that is. And resulting injuries, and then a misdemeanor theft. He has a history of petty theft convictions in 2019 and 2022, but no prior violent offenses. I don't know if he did any interactions with Genova. I'm not completely unaware. Yeah, Ian fell off. I mean, one thing I'd be texting, they don't have around regarding put a guy in prison, keep him down. Well, this is in Georgia, but pretty similar. Berger's getting off lately. I pray he gets the help he needs and hope this is his rock bottom. I mean, Ian and I have had fallings out, but we've also been friends several times in the past. We've made amends before. Like even after we had a big falling out as friends, I later did a whole hour-long video call with him. We discussed collaboration work, and I was going to coach him for free and help him get strong and jacked again, and keep him on track. And we were going to do it as an actual blog series, and he ended up backing out after we agreed to do it and announced it. But yeah, pretty bad. So he's looking at that first charge. It's saying worst case conviction is up to 20 years. So I'm hoping it's his rock bottom too. I know he's struggled with his alcoholism. I know he's struggled with all these things. It's sad to see, sad to see. And it's not even a family history thing. It's none of these where I'm just going to say it. Ian comes from a family with money. Like he comes from resources, he comes from money. His family is decently well off, So this is not even a case of someone could say, well, he just had a really bad upbringing and came up in poverty or so. He doesn't have any of that in his history. This is not a case of, hey, he just, no. This is a case of Ian's addictions and everything really getting him later in life. Yeah, 4 parents with a son effing up. Like I said, Ian is educated. He's educated. His family is educated. They have money. They're like upper middle class, if my understanding. So we're talking like top 10%, right? Top 10% economic bracket. And so he doesn't come from like an impoverished background. But yeah, he is an alcoholic and he does have some pill addictions and other things, unfortunately, which have not been appropriately addressed. But Lars, I agree. I mean, this is a case of what happens with alcoholism and drugs for people who have pre-existing issues. Like Ian's got depression issues. He has other pre-existing issues. And I'm the same way, guys. I have a diagnosis of chronic depression. Historically, I have a diagnosis of PTSD. This is another reason I needed to go sober. I have no business touching alcohol, right? Me personally, I mean, let's set aside my personal views of it. I have All right. Get out of here. Kapow! Get rid of Keith. So, dude literally thinks this is a Section 8 house. Imagine being that crazy. That's a perfect example of mental illness, and we just kapowed out of here. But yeah, no, I mean, so perfect example. You got to really watch stuff like alcohol. Alcohol is already horrific enough. You mix it with mental illness. Marco, I read it all out loud. I read the thing, some of it. He's been charged with robbery and aggravated assault of an elderly person. Yeah, he basically robbed and pushed down to an elderly married couple in a parking lot, stole her purse, credit cards, and then got caught trying to use the stolen credit card. Right? Yeah, fair enough, Marco. So that's what's up, guys. Yeah. And again, let's be clear. Let's be clear. This is not a case of someone from some poverty-ridden background. Ian's family has resources. He comes from a decently well-off family, and he's educated. So, where do we even say there's no excuse? And I agree, Lars. This is not a case of someone from the hood growing up in addiction and poverty, even resorting to this. This is someone with a good family history resorting to this. I mean, is he on drugs? I don't know the specifics at the moment, but Ian is an alcoholic and an addict. Right? He has an ongoing addiction problem. I don't know the specifics of all of it. Chick-fil-A, thank you for the super chat. You predicted this years ago. I did say I felt like Ian was going to eventually kind of go off the deep end. But he already has. He's blown up at me a couple times. He's lost his cool with me, and I've blocked him and stuff before, even though we've been friends in the past. And like I said at the beginning, this is significant because Ian is the one who convinced me to start my original YouTube. All right. So Ian McCarthy is the person who convinced me to start my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel a week after he talked me into it, like started kicking out videos, my original ice cream fitness and all that. So Ian was the person who talked me into it. Yeah, I remember you both back then. He's not getting off or getting clean. I mean, he got multiple felonies out of this one. Wait, you knew Ian before? Yeah, we knew each other. We were friends before we started YouTube. I knew Ian before either of us started a YouTube. Like, we were in a mutual social circles online through Alan Aragon, who we're both friends with. Yeah. Hope dude gets some help. I mean, he might be going to prison. I don't know what help he's going to get with that. I don't know how Georgia works with all that with rehabilitation. But it's kind of like we've been saying for a while, Ian needs to get help. We've been saying that for years. This is not going to be help. When he sent me a voice message on Instagram like 2 months ago, it sounded like he was manic on stems. I think he's in Atlanta. My understanding, he's in Atlanta. Let's see. Atlanta PD. Yeah, he was arrested by Atlanta PD. So, yep. So this occurred in Atlanta also. What's his bond? His bond's at $25,000. Dang, more rough fitness news. Maybe that's what he needs to get his life together. It might be, but man, there's different ways to go. No, Renard, I've never heard of that person. Sorry. I remember Ian calling out the Hodge twins in the day when the Hodge twins said deadlift was dangerous, and he received a lot of hate from their fans, but also now how his channel grew relatively fast. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. A jail people get killed. I mean, yeah, it said robbery, but it was taking advantage. Leighton, I already read it out loud. Yeah, he was a YouTuber, came up in the same generation as me. We were friends before we started YouTube. Pop Tart Fitness. Yeah, the Pop Tart Fitness thing. Um, he's the one who convinced me to start my YouTube channel based on his. He talked me into it. So yes, there's history. My training's treating me great, Limitless. I put the vlogs all up. But no, Leighton, who said this? No, he didn't take advantage. He confronted. But can you say that you're what? Never heard of him. Sounds like another irrelevant. Well, I mean, the Hodge twins had banter with him back and forth. But he ended up having a lot of addiction problems, falling out of all his training, his coaching, everything. No, definitely you should give a prayer for Ian, but I don't. Ian's an atheist, by the way, too. He has no interest in Christianity. We met through mutual circles with Alan Aragon. What did he get charged with? Robbery, aggravated assault of an elderly person, and receiving stolen property. So 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. He got an aggravated assault for pushing the elderly woman down when he stole her purse because she got bruises and had to go be checked out at the hospital. I remember his saying, yeah, he struggled a lot. Georgia. The Hodge twins don't make fitness content anymore. They make political content, right? They make political content only. But they gave me a shout out. The Hodge twins got me to 5,000 followers originally. Hey, Jason, I'm holidaying in Dubai, eating a lot of meat in your name since you saved me from veganism. Yep, Ian Pop-Tart, guys. So no, Leighton, he wasn't by manipulation. He literally stole the woman's purse and pushed her to the ground. And I guess he wrestled with her husband for a moment. Well, no, he robbed them. All right, get out of here. So he pushed her down and stole her purse in the parking lot. It was all video recorded. Experience. Yeah, I'm friends with Alan. Right? Not a good look is not even the terms I would use, man. He did this recently, but he's from, yeah. Coach, I am tired of overthinking. What do I do? Quit overthinking. Limitless. Let's get over to Limitless. I can't do a lot of your personal stuff in the big supers. People are going to be hitting hard-hitting questions all the time. They're going to rip you apart in these afternoon ones. The stuff you post in the mornings, dude, you're going to get ripped apart if you post that stuff with the afternoon crowd. Just an FYI. I don't think Lane and I will ever make peace. Meaning, I don't wish him harm. Hopefully, he doesn't wish me harm. He's told people he doesn't wish me harm. I don't see us ever being friends. No, and I wouldn't be able to trust him anyways. It's like it's not going to happen. A limitless take Modafinil. He's got he's got petty theft. He's got 2 previous for petty theft. So he's got some misdemeanor priors. He sent me a bunch of Yo Mama jokes. Sounded like you in here are awesome. Hey, Sean, how about I don't talk about any of that? Hey, Sean, can we not discuss that at all? I would prefer if we go away from that topic completely. So, in fact, I might need to just delete your comment. Well, at least it's no longer on site with Leighton now, so that's good, right? What can you do to improve your squat recovery? Better fatigue management, better sleep, better nutrition. Yeah, Sean, I feel like even posting something like that, you're trying to get me hate. You're literally trying to create problems for me. Just think that through. You claim you're a fan, but you shouldn't be posting stuff like that. So I wish no ill will towards Muslims, but I do not want to actually discuss all of that in public at all. So because that's a heated, loaded topic. Ian needs psychiatric help. The problem is, EJ, he needed psychiatric help, but he didn't get it. Now he's committed a violent felony. Yeah. You need to get under heavy barbell. Is strong arm brawl at elderly grounds for lethal? Potentially. Chiquita, could they have used deadly force where I live and probably got away with it without going to jail? Yes. Now, it might have gone to grand jury. It might go to trial. They're not going to be found guilty, or it may be dropped completely. They might not even get arrested. Why might walking with weight upset the lower back due to the loading of it? Just overall total axial loading lifting. Someone should have stepped up and helped Ian. A lot of people tried to help Ian, but we're not his family. A lot of us tried to help Ian years ago, including me. Right? A lot of people tried to help Ian. And so here's his thing. How often do you have dog incidents while barefoot jogging? Have had a dog run up to me, I think once, maybe twice. And they've not been issues. They're not incidents, dude. They're just, dog kind of runs up to you. The only time I was worried, one of them was pretty big. So I had to be, assertive and tell them no. Lifting it's not a matter of more, it's a matter of the angles and the total fatigue, right? So you would agree it's probably tougher on your low back to do 20 reps with 300 pounds than it is to do 400 for one, right? It will create more fatigue. Even though 400 pounds is more weight than 3. Which doctor? Hey, Jason, I was watching the stream from yesterday regarding Dr. Mike. I agree with you. No real bodybuilders are doing his 30 rep sets with a stretch pause motion. Yeah, it's not like any serious bodybuilders are using his programming either. So we can't even use the anecdote. Hey, Sean, I have no idea. And why do we need to keep bringing up stuff from 10 or more years? Sean, can we stick to current stuff, please? You have a strange obsession with stuff from 10 or more years ago, to the point where even though you're a paying channel member, I might have to be like, look, dude. Or you should take some medications for it. You got to stop asking me about stuff from a decade or more ago. You do it pretty much every single day, 7 days a week. I don't care. I have no idea. I have no clue what I weigh. I see a bunch of rich kids lose their stuff, right? The angles and total fatigue is greater. Interesting. I thought squats and deads. Lifting, you don't understand the concept of fatigue from doing something over time? And the jarring, the walks are more jarring. So yes, it is creating a lot of fatigue in my low back. So with the amount of squatting and deadlifting I do, I'm having to take them out for just a moment. Yep. Dorian Yates called his retail bag of crap. A small bag of crap that takes steroids becomes a bigger bag of crap. Yeah, Yates is a savage, dude. I like Mike with that. Dude, he went in on him hard. Dorian didn't pull any punches. He didn't pull any punches at all. And that's worse for Mike's career than any of the PhD fiasco, because his thing is coaching and doing bodybuilding. It's bodybuilding. Dorian Yates has a lot of clout. Dorian Yates has a lot of clout in the bodybuilding world, having won the Mr. Olympia like 6 times. That's a lot of clout. So when he says, "Oh, you're just a bag of shit," to someone who's making their living selling bodybuilding apps and bodybuilding knowledge, that's bad for his career. right? Keep in mind, Dorian didn't fully inspire his training, but he liked Mike and he as a person, and he felt bad for him, and it said some of that. Do you think trap bar could help with that? No, probably not lifting. Lifting, I don't know what you're confused about. I don't understand what you're asking. I'm going to move on from that question because I feel like I've covered it in the vlogs, and it's just too much. Jason, I liked John Meadows. I didn't like some of the things he said and did. I feel like a lot of his dangerous dietary advice contributed to his death with the drug stacks, right? Keep in mind, John Meadows got some nutrition stuff wrong and wrote articles and made statements that will cause heart disease and heart attack. Let's be clear on that. I can like John Meadows and still say, hey, you got some nutrition stuff really, really off that's going to give people heart attacks potentially. You combine it with heavy steroid doses, kind of see where we're going. Lifting, no, they're not superior. No, I'm lifting. You're frustrating me. I don't feel like digging any further. We'll watch the vlogs. I'll address it in vlogs. I'm trying to keep this flowing positive, and you're starting to frustrate me. So I'm just going to move on with it so I can keep the stream positive. I never said or implied that. No, absolutely not. If I said something is causing pain from the fatigue, why would you think that it's good? There you go. Right. I'm not sure how you put that in the direction of positive. Okay. No, you weren't being negative, but it's your question was starting to irritate me, and I'm trying to be positive, and I'm not going to be positive if I'm irritated. So I feel like you weren't listening. All right. EJ Yates doesn't want people copying what he does. Now he's on TRT and rides bikes up mountains, right? Ronnie Coleman's style of training got him hurt too, though, didn't it? Do you like Iron Master's adjustable dumbbells or I don't know what the latter is. Iron Masters seem to be pretty good, actually. I'm familiar with them. Yeah. No, essentially I said the weighted carries are beating my low back up too much with the amount of squatting and deadlifting. Those I didn't say positive, said they're beating it up. And I feel like I kind of covered it in the vlog already. So I'm going to rotate them out for just a short bit, let my low back recover, and keep pushing. This better physique is much better for your outreach, maybe. I'm recomping further still and working more on my shoulders at the moment. No, he's never become violent. Has he been aggressive in his words on social media to where I had to block him? Yes. Like he's gone a little manic on me on Facebook before. Jason, why do you think people take advice of Liz? I don't care. Addicted to strength, hey, can doing a max and then a 10 rep work set on the deadlift? It can work. It can work. There can be issues on the fatigue management. Just a bit unsure with deadlifts with low fatigue. How fatiguing can they be? 10 rep sets on deadlifts can be a lot. So just be aware it can work. It can work. But watch your fatigue. Sean, I'm willing to do consultations to cover anything that you want. I've had people who literally bought consultations and I thought they were going to want to do training and they just wanted to chat with their favorite YouTuber for an hour. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy to do that too instead of your training stuff, but it's still the same price. And I've had people who've done it, but I thought that I was going in just to chat with their training. And they're like, I really didn't care. I just wanted to chat with Jason Blaha for an hour, but they paid. I charge $100 per consultations. All right. No, I haven't really discussed Mike Israel's low back fat surgery. These skin tightening surgeries and stuff, I'm not a fan of. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate the answer. Works incredibly well for squats and bench. Dude, yeah, it works really well for those. The name Jason Blaha is nice. Thank you, man. Huge rep deadlifts used to get in my recovery too long when I could just have another session. I'm very, very careful with doing many of those high rep deadlift sets. And I've done them. I've done tens and stuff on deadlifts, and I've done them even as back off work. But your recovery better be on point, you know. But you don't need a lot. And I think what you have to keep in mind with that is one back off set of deadlifts for 10 hard reps has a ridiculous amount of stimulus. So people would say, well, you can't do much volume, but you don't need much volume. Hey, Phil, go watch the whole first 5-10 minutes again, man. I broke down all the charges, the details, our history, everything. I've already broke it all down. If you want the 20-second cliff notes, Ian pushed down and robbed a married elderly couple in a grocery store parking lot, stole her purse. He's been charged with 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. Yeah. Lifting hard. Do you think Greg Doucette, the most hypocritical fitness influencer, because he calls out people scamming while he does the same? I mean, fair, he scams people. What do you put in the brown rice to make it taste better? I like soy sauce and honey, or you can do an avocado sauce. Right? But who's killing the algo? Was this dude Ian had a pretty good sized following in the early days. I mean, he had like 20,000 followers in the early YouTube days. Yep. I'm doing some stuff. I'm not really doing drama. I'm doing current events, but I'm not concerned with I don't want to get in fights with people. I don't care about pissing matches with individuals. I'm willing to call out nonsense and discuss topics. I'm willing to discuss some current events, but I don't want to go watch channels. The main thing, I just don't want to watch fitness YouTubers. I don't want to watch these clowns with no coaching experience or their nonsense. I just can't watch it. I lose IQ points and knowledge by watching it. So I just can't do it. I don't know who Zerk Fitness is. Hey, Bruce. Oh, Bruce. You think that the back squat is your ally? Right. I believe Ian will come back to his prime. Dude, he's been charged with felonies. I don't see him coming back to his prime from that, man. Zerk is an AI channel that does savage commentaries on other YouTubers. Okay. So why does he do savage? Is he anybody who lifts? Does he know anything, or does he just do savage commentaries as someone who doesn't know anything about it? Yeah, you don't come back. Ian's already, a lot of us tried to help Ian. Get help that he needed, and he didn't. He's just a robot, so I don't know. Yeah, so who cares then? I don't care about him. He doesn't matter. Why we care about a bunch of robots? Do the robot. Do we need to play the AOL sound again like we did in the coffee chat? We're talking about old school dial-up. I don't plan on getting any more gym equipment. I might sell some of what I have. No one's broke my back. No, I haven't bought any equipment this year. I haven't needed any more. I'm pretty well set. Pause. What's pause? Derek is just good listening on how to grow using the algo. Okay. My first modem was a 300 baud, right? We break backs over here, right? No, we don't. We keep our backs injury free. That's kind of the goal. It's worth watching YouTube Fitness and makes you that money back. Dude, it's such a cesspool of ignorance. I have no interest in stopping Donald Trump. What does he need to be stopped for exactly? Uh, and he's the rightfully elected president. What exactly is it I'm supposed to be stopping? I don't necessarily like everything he does, but I agree with a lot of it. The pros outweigh the cons. Why would I join? What a silly question. No, I have no intention of joining a federal law enforcement agency. This is not on my list of priorities. How about instead, I continue to be a strength and conditioning coach and put out fitness and strength related content on the internet? How about I do that instead? It would be fun seeing you destroy this new crop of losers in the industry, but I understand you don't. I mean, I don't know that anyone cares what I think about them, to be honest. You know, HEB, yeah, I didn't know that. They might be. I can see HEB doing that. I'm out of the loop there because I don't actually know anybody currently on EBT benefits. Sharing your passion for charitable fitness YouTubers is a way to the gold mine. Coach working with IBOP. That would be too much power for them, right? So we remember, guys, with great power comes great responsibility. And if I were to work with ICE, they would become probably too powerful. Okay, and there has to be balance, right? They already have a lot of power. It would be too much. It would create imbalance within the government, right? So I'm going to say that would be irresponsible of me in terms of checks and balances. You know, remember, guys, with power comes great responsibility. They'd all be deadlifting 700 pounds, dude. It would just be carnage. You know, maybe you could be there. Well, that's the problem, Connor. If I was their S&C coach, do you really want a bunch of ICE agents on top of everything else deadlifting 700 pounds? Dude, they'd be like dual wielding immigrants grabbing them in each hand. And, we don't need all this. It's too much. It's too much. We just know. There's not real gun channels. I like reaction videos. I don't like music. I like music reaction videos. I'm dead serious. That's like the only thing I watch. That's literally the only thing I come to YouTube for. No, I don't know anyone who actually believes in Sasquatch. Right, nice. Let's see. Man, I miss the golden age of YouTube fitness. Now it's just a bunch of fitness reality. Exactly. Bunch of kids on trend goofing off on weights with their broccoli hair. Right? Bunch of SARM goblins with broccoli heads. Do you watch that Spanish drummer? No, I don't know who that is. Nope. I don't think Sasquatch is actually real, to be fair. And I've watched every Bigfoot documentary known to man. It used to be one of my guilty pleasures. And those documentaries convinced me beyond a reasonable doubt that there is no Bigfoot. Fitness symptoms are weird. Imagine taking trying to look natty in 2025. Right? Oh, Lord. Well, if Coach ever wanted to just look really jacked all the, but it would be so blaringly obvious if I did a real blast these days. Right? I just run 2 grams of test and some ADEX or some Romacin. I'd blow up pretty quick, but it's not worth it with my family history and age. Like, I feel like it would be like a Bruce Piano death cycle over again. That's literally what I would do, though. People are like, Coach, what would be the safest way for you to just blow up? Dude, I'd just blast a bunch of tests and control my YouTube. With my current training and everything and where I'm at in terms of strength and muscle, yeah, I would recomp like a mofo. But it would be risky. Do you believe in ghosts? I'm not sure, but I think there's something after death. how do I put it? You want me to just give my belief? I think ghosts are probably real. Is that fair? I'm very inclined to believe. Yeah, I made my conclusion that Bigfoot is probably not real. I think it's just people having some fun, obsessed with the idea. Um, the evidence, if anything, convinces me that there's no evidence. So I don't think he's real. Yeah. Ghosts, though, I'm inclined to believe in ghosts, and yeah, I do believe there's something after that. I'm very, very inclined to believe in ghosts. Am I saying beyond a shadow of a doubt? No. Right? Do you believe in aliens? Um, yeah, I would find it impossible statistically to believe there are not millions of intelligent civilizations out there. Like just from a statistical probability. EJ, I don't want to go into all that. I've had a few minor things I've seen that made me think they could be real. We're over to personal life and personal stories and things that would just be trolled and hated on, and people would make hate videos about and say, "Oh, Jason believes in ghosts. We need to institutionalize him. He's crazy and delusional." My haters are that bad. They would be making documentaries about it. You know. So that being said, in terms, but even the parameters for life are very specific. But that's life as we know it, right? Any female fitness influencers or bodybuilders that you rate or like? Yeah, no, definitely, definitely rate Carrie Jude and Hattie James Fitness. They all have great physiques. They're beautiful women. They're strong with great physiques. You know. Let's see. Plus, Carrie promotes barefoot training and barefoot running, just like I do. So I'm gonna give some props for that. What are you talking about, Batman? Like unbelievably specific. Is there? I think there's a dimension to reality. Well, we don't know everything about the nature of reality, even in theoretical physics. There's a lot of unknowns. You know. But the thing is, when you're pointing that out, EJ, you're talking about life and biology as we know it in our system. There could be intelligent lives and intelligences that don't even follow our concept of carbon type organics. That makes sense? There could be silicon, there could be crystal based, there could be energy based intelligences and life forms. There could be all sorts of things. When you really think about the vastness of the universe and probabilities, I would almost be willing to bet my life on the fact that there are probably millions of intelligent civilizations out there. Now, what we're unsure of is have they reached us or not? That's the big if. But as to do they exist, I'm just statistically find it impossible to say that they don't. Right? Very unlikely they still have to follow laws of physics. Silicon is very bad as a basis. Well, again, life as we know it, Lars. Because again, what we're thinking of as life, you're thinking of life as we define it. It was cellular biology. Right? So what if we found some other system that is capable of replicating itself and having intelligence and consciousness? Do we, Lars, define that as life? So what if we met a crystalline type structure capable of technology, intelligence, memory storage, consciousness, like a computer that could replicate itself? Would we classify it as alive because it doesn't follow our system of organic cellular biology? Or we say, no, it doesn't have cells, it doesn't replicate the way that we do, therefore it's not alive. Right? What's wrong with the guy who thinks you're Batman, right? If they were self-replicating stuff, it would be everywhere. Do the math. Again, you're stuck in what we have here. No, I don't play any video games, Snorty. Was driving home and saw the thumbnail. Damn, it's a serious charge. Apparently, he's like 5'3". Not gonna do. No, I think Ian's taller than 5'3". Yeah, but whatever life it is, it doesn't solve the. It's not Fermarian. It's the Fermari paradox, or the Fermori paradox. So it's with an F, not a P. That's okay. Which I'm very, very familiar with. So that's the issue we then run into with all the life. It's not the question. I don't think it's a question of if there's millions of intelligent civilizations out there, just probability wise. The question is, have they reached us? Can they reach us? Yeah. So yeah, for me, and yeah, that's the real question. But then we go over into other stories of what if they have and we don't know, what if we have and governments have hidden it, and so on and so forth. So this is where we get into all these questions and the unknowns. Thought we were talking about femurs for a second. No, we weren't talking about long femured squatters. No, they're talking about the concept. This is an entire paradox. So for those who don't understand, this has been mapped out by scientists, is what they're talking about. I'm going to get you guys a link. So if you don't, yeah, the Fermi paradox. So I'm going to send you a Wikipedia. If you guys don't understand, yeah, Enrico Fermi from the Los Alamos lab. So this is what we're talking about. This is a paradox. And so this is a very complicated set of questions and chains of logic and reasoning proposed by some of the greatest minds in physics and science, right? All the way up to including, so yeah, Fermi was a Nobel Prize winner, Nobel Prize winning physicist. So he's proposed a lot of these ideas and questions and things that have to be solved and answered on the topic of intelligent life out there. Have you read The Pale Horse? That sounds familiar. I don't know. Coach, have you seen the hexagon on Saturday? No, I haven't. So, and this also then begs the question of, especially if they're from outside of our solar system or further away. Rumors going that the current Mr. O nearly died. I haven't heard that one, Connor. You know, the other issue we have is creatures of that intelligence with the technology and intelligence ability to reach us from further away in the galaxy, like even within our own galaxy, let alone another galaxy. What would they want with us? We're not exactly on the same cognitive level as creatures that can do that. These would have been beings who would have already altered their own intelligence and all sorts of genetic engineering and things to even reach that level. At that point, their type of consciousness might not even be able to relate to us. So this is a complex set of questions. Connor says Derek Lunsford. Now I haven't heard the rumors on that on Derek, but I mean the guy is a big bag of oil. He might have like punctured a delt and almost drowned in it. I mean, you can speculate all you want, Linton. There's tons of stuff about that. I mean, my God, even Lovecraft wrote about that 100 years ago. Like H.P. Lovecraft literally wrote about alien life forms living down under the oceans 100 years ago in his horror novels. So, I mean, these are very old ideas. Doesn't mean we have evidence for it. I mean, we had fiction 100 years ago talking about literally that sort of thing. For those who aren't familiar with Lovecraft, check it out. So, if you want one related to that particular topic, read At the Mountains of Madness, right, by H.P. Lovecraft. Takes place down in Antarctica. Right. So if you're interested in that topic, that's a nice little piece of fiction for you to check out. So he addresses it in that one, At the Mountains of Madness. Right. Chris Aceto rejected the rumors, but I don't trust these guys. I don't trust these coaches either. So who knows with it? I mean, they're all dying anyways. They're all going to drop like flies. They all going to die on us, unfortunately. It's a death cult. Batman, why you know that I'm extremely pro Second Amendment, right? Yep, Ian McStrothers. Ian McStrothers, man. Pop Tart Fitness. Yeah, man. Now that was a classic reference. What are you doing, Kevin? The fuck out the way, Keith. We're over here talking about this Ian Pop Tart McStrothers. Yeah, man. Thinks he's some type of bodybuilder. Yeah, man. Some type of bodybuilder. This is a classic skit for the unaware. We're going to get deep in it for a moment. Yeah, man. What's he call his channel over here? Yeah, check it out, man. Check this out. It's No Bullshit Bodybuilding. Oh, man. That's good, man. I like that. Yeah, man, that's real catchy. That's smooth right there. No bullshit bodybuilding. Yeah, man, that's good. Yeah, man, except it ain't exactly accurate. No, man, it's not accurate at all, man. Ain't no real bodybuilding going on there. Yeah, man, not no bodybuilding going on. So maybe we should just take that part out. Yeah, man, let's just chop that out. What we got here, man? We got no bullshit. Yeah, that's a little better, man, but that ain't right either. No, man, that ain't accurate. That ain't accurate, man. So let's take that first part out too. So what do we got left? All we got left is bullshit. Right? Have you ever thought about, never mentioned, I run a fitness channel. There's no way I can discuss fitness topics without someone bringing up bodybuilding. I can't even put up content on Facebook without bodybuilders coming in and saying, man, you're not ripped, man. You're just a fat guy. You're not ripped, man. You're not a body. And I'm like, I'm not a bodybuilder. You're right. I'm not a bodybuilder. Absolute facts. Have you seen Houston Jones bodybuilders? No, I don't know who that is. What? I don't know. Are they based out of Jones Road in Houston? I used to live pretty close to Jones Road. I don't know, man. Bodybuilders does, he does. Jackass stunts. Oh, never heard of it. Are you pivoting? Why would you think I pivot? I run a fitness channel. I put up training vlogs every day. I put up training and lifting related content on all my social media every day. I don't even know my body fat percent. I don't know, maybe 15. Let's go with 15. How's that sound? So, no, I put up fitness content all day, every day on Facebook. Most of my content's on Facebook, dude. I like the way people might rip Toe for not being ripped. Well, to be fair, though, Rip is fat and diabetic, you know. But he's not a bodybuilder. So it's like, why are they bringing this up? He's a strength coach. He's a 70-year-old strength coach. He has no interest in bodybuilding. He doesn't even like or respect bodybuilding. So it's weird that they bring it up, right? This is like going and talking to a tennis player about their lack of basketball skills. It's that dumb. Bodybuilders seem oblivious that everything lifting and fitness related isn't bodybuilding. It would be the equivalent of basketball players running around talking about how golfers and football players and sprinters can't dribble a basketball and how stupid it is, and they aren't athletic because it's all about the basketball dribble and the free throws. That would be the equivalent, because no one cares about bodybuilding outside of bodybuilding. The average person doesn't think bodybuilders look good. They don't think you need to look like a bodybuilder to have an amazing body. So the rest of the world doesn't care outside of bodybuilding. Right? Just like nobody outside of basketball cares about your dribbling or free throw. They just don't. Golfers don't care. Football players don't care. Shot putters don't care at all. I think this is stuff that people forget in these conversations. But I get it. I mean, if it's your thing, it means a lot to you. Does getting ripped get you women? No, not necessarily. But if you get really ripped, what are you going to do with the women? So that is the problem with getting bodybuilder ripped, like what bodybuilders call rip, right? So let's say you get women when you get that lean. Well, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to pay someone else to have sex with them? While you go ambivalently video game because you don't care? So therein lay the problem with the question. So let's say you get just absolute ripped, bodybuilder ripped, and you do get women, which you won't. What are you going to do with them? You're not going to have sex with them. Your testosterone isn't going to be there and your dick won't work. And you probably won't be that interested. But you wouldn't be interested in the guys either. You don't really, when you're shredded, you don't really have a sex drive anymore. You know, so for most dudes. So, I mean, what are you going to do with them? How about, well, if you're on enough gear, but even then, if you don't get the balance right. So here's the other problem. So you get contest ripped. A lot of guys crash their E2 to get contest ripped. You know, crash your E2, you got problems too. No, they don't tear up my lawn, Phil. Hey, Phil, why are we asking about my lawn, man? Why do you care? Why a lot of these bodybuilders won't respect so much because they work so hard. It's so insecure. Like I only respect some characters and treat others fairly, not because of what they love, right? Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: it's just that insecure group. I know a lot of bodybuilders who respect all other athletic endeavors. See, that's the thing. I've met plenty of bodybuilders in real life who have respect for great strength and powerlifting. They have respect for people who play football. They have respect for wrestling. They have respect for various physical endeavors because they see themselves as very physical people with a certain set of goals and they respect those. And I know bodybuilders who think that way. But you have this weird little group that's so obsessed that they can't appreciate anyone who doesn't. That to them, they're like, oh, a person looks terrible if they're not contest ready bodybuilder. Right. I've been around a lot of bodybuilders. I've had personal friends in real life who compete in bodybuilding. I have met and had conversations with dozens and dozens of bodybuilders in person in my life over the years. I've had conversations with NPC competitors. I've had conversations with IFBB pros. How I've sat down and had conversations with married couples where one of them was an IFBB pro and the other is an NPC competitor. Actually, more than one married couple. Hey, Phil, we're over talking about my personal life and my neighbors and lawn. That's ban offense. You know that, right? I've asked you guys repeatedly not to do that. I've given more than sufficient warnings. Defiant call. I was going to kapow him anyways. Defiant call for a kapow. Anybody else? I mean, I don't know what part of stop doing that you guys don't understand. Like, do you not speak English? Do they not speak English in what? Exactly. 2-1. We'll wind up the band hammer. We're banning Phil for discussing my lawn. Why are we discussing my non-fitness topics of my aspects of my life when you guys know it's an auto ban offense? I have made it extremely clear. Kapow! Get your old cracker ass out of here. Uh-oh, I used a racial slur. I called him a cracker. And I'm Slavic, so that would be considered not my... Dang, I don't know, man. I have no filter today. All right. Again, I don't know why people don't seem to grasp this fact. I've given more than ample warnings repeatedly. No, just don't ask me about my personal life and my neighbors or my things like that. Just stop. In fact, that statement alone is enough for back over. It's not hard, guys. It really isn't difficult to not get banned. It really isn't. If you guys would only stick to fitness, politics, current events, physics, if you guys could just stick to stuff like that, there is zero chance you will ever get banned. It isn't difficult. It's not hard at all. All right, next. It's not even remotely difficult.